anybody in the room that likes a dentist? I happen to like a dentist. His name is Jim, young guy. He's funny. He's humorous. When's the last time you met a funny dentist? Well, about a month and a half ago, I broke a tooth. And I end up in Jim's office, and he said, well, John, you're going to need a crown, so what we have to do is file this thing down, and then we'll put a temporary in. And so he's telling me about this, and I said, okay, whatever. How much is this going to cost? Oh, God. So I said, what happens if the temporary comes out? And he said, you come back here again, and I said, no, I don't want to do that. That'll cost me some more money. He said, I'll just use rubber cement. I said, no. He said, but you know, it's funny that you mentioned that. He said, I really had a client one time that I put a temporary. He broke his front tooth, and he came back 2 days later, and he said, what'd you say? He said, I don't understand what you're saying. He said, I put my tooth back in with crazy glue, and my thumb is stuck to my tooth. I said to him, why'd you do that? It seemed like a good idea. I said, what'd you do? He said, I don't know if you know this, but crazy glue is water soluble. I just put water and I freed them up. So I learned a lesson. I'm not going to use crazy glue if it ever. Sure enough, that weekend, the temporary tooth comes out. So my wife says, what are you going to do? I said, I'm not going to do crazy glue or rubber cement. I'm just going to stick it there. I mean, it'll kind of stay there. It's an eye tooth. Well, that evening we had gone down to my daughter's house, and she has 4 sons, and one was celebrating birthday. And I'm being really careful, you know, not eating anything that's going to pull that tooth out, and not even helping them blow out the candles. And so I make it through dinner, and all of a sudden I feel a sneeze coming on. Now, the old style was you cover your mouth, but to be politically correct, you don't do that anymore. What do you do? I sneezed. This tooth came right out, bounced off my elbow, across the wooden table, onto the floor, and everybody's going, that's it! I thought, that's funny tooth. So I picked the tooth up, stick it back in. The following night, now it's still in there, but I took it out at night because I knew I would swallow it, and then I'd have to. I don't want to do that. That does not seem like a good idea. But the following night, we had a visitor, this lady that we hadn't seen in 30 years. She had come up from North Carolina. She was visiting, staying overnight, and she had a little puppy. And my wife happened to be out getting some things, and Jean rings the doorbell, and I go to the door. Oh, Jean, oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. We hug and whatever. With that, the dog comes in, runs through the house, and is standing at the back door like, I've got to go out right now. So I scurry through the house, I open up the door, the dog goes out, and I'm greeting Jean, oh, it's been wonderful to see you, and the dog comes back in, and all of a sudden, my tongue goes up, and I realize my tooth is gone. And I'm standing there talking to Jean that I haven't seen in 30 years, trying to explain this big gap. And I said, well, I have a temporary tooth, and I don't know where it is. All of a sudden, I see it on the floor. And I go, there it is. With that, the dog goes over. Oh! It's gone. It's gone. Doesn't seem like a good idea that I want to retrieve this. Monday, I go back to the dentist, and I said to Jim, you remember when you were in school and you didn't have your homework? You told the teacher the dog ate it? The dog ate my tooth. Without missing a beat, he looked me right in the eye and he said, that's why they call it a canine.